people ask me a question. Is it possible to be happy all the time? Is it possible to have a life which has no miseries? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. I have this problem. You're crying, but it's very silly. Why do you cry? It's just like a person watching a drama and crying. A person is watching, "Oh, mar gaya, बेचारा मर गया, बेचारा मर गया, क्यों कौन मर गया? छोटा बेबी था, वो बेबी मर गया." अरे बेबी मर गया, फिल्म में मरा ना. It's a movie. The moment you realize, and this is not about being heartless. This is about being enlightened. Being enlightened with the truth. What is the truth about life? If you are not enlightened, you will suffer. You will not only suffer pain of the body, misery of the mind, agony of the ego. There will be anger, hate, revenge, jealousy. You get so upset. It's common. It's normal. It's normal to be upset. So do you want to be upset? Do you want to live a life that's full of stress, worry, anxiety? We worry about so many things. But why? Why do we worry? It's because we are ignorant. We are ignorant of the truth. You think people are spending 30 minutes every day, if they're wasting their time? No. This is a priceless treasure. I realize it because I spent 2 years of unadulterated time. I spent 2 years completely giving up everything to realize what is the truth. And today, when I tell somebody, you're not this body, they say, what do you mean? And I explain to them that when you were born, you were a body. They say, yeah. I said, but 1 week before that, you were in your mother's womb. They said, yet I was still the body. Then when I take them 9 months back, then they are caught because they were just one cell. And this is a reality. Nobody can deny it. We are that one cell. And we are that one cell that ultimately becomes a body, that ultimately grows old, that ultimately will die. And when we die, the body will die. But that's not us. If that was us, our loved ones will not burn it. If that was us, our loved ones will not bury it for the worms to eat. Clearly, it is not us. If that is not us when we die, it is not us even today. The body that's suffering, the mind and the ego. These are some of the questions I answered today to people. And now I hand over to you. I already see some people asking questions.
Navjot.
Let us start. Navjot. First question from Navjot.
Shivam sir.
Shivam.
So today I don't have a question, but I want to share my experience.
Yes.
Sir, I was practicing silence yesterday in the night time.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of felt a power that uses my body to witness my surroundings.
No, I didn't get you. What did you feel in the night when you were doing meditation?
I was not meditating. I was just sitting in silence.
Yeah. And then what happened?
I felt a power that controls my body
Okay.
to witness all the things around.
Okay.
And it gives me power to feel, it gives me power to listen.
So very good. If you have felt that power,
Everything, nothing, I can do nothing without it. It helps me to hear, it helps me to taste, it helps me in everything.
very good. If you have experienced
And
that,
two things more I figured out.
yeah.
Two more things I figured out. The space inside me is the same space as outside.
Okay.
And that same power is in everybody.
Very good. So now,
And at that moment, there was no emotion, no happiness, no fear, no sorrow.
Okay, good. Navjot, it's very good to have that experience.
And today, what happened?
Yeah.
Yes. Today, the things which made me angry didn't affect me today. From today onwards.
That is amazing. That is very amazing to know. It all depends whether you feel the same power continuing with you tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So stick to that power. Spend the same moments again today trying to be the observer and build on it. And if it is truly that power, then you will, then as the days go by, you will express more to us. If you are able to overcome that anger, if you are able to be a witness, observer, it is very good. So my good wishes to you, and please continue. Thank you for sharing your observations.
Okay.
Thank you. Gautam. Next is Gautam.
शिवम यार
Shivam, brother.
यार एक्चुअली साइलेंस में कैसे रहना है? आंख बंद करके रहना है या फिर आंख खोल के रहना है?
देखो अभी
क्योंकि हम
नवजोत
बंद
बोला,
कर क्योंकि
अभी
हम
नवजोत
बंद करें तो क्योंकि when we close our eyes there are chances to get some thoughts, but when I get thoughts I'll tell my mind that please don't go anywhere, sit near me, so it will come and sit near me, no problem with that. but अगर आंख खोल के क्यों तो कैसे करना है वो?
आंख खोलेंगे तो सब कुछ देखेंगे. आंख खोलेंगे.
लेकिन हम तो लेकिन हम घर पे रहते हैं ना, तो हम I can see only the walls and the TV I can see.
Then why open the eyes? For what reason? If you're only seeing the walls, no harm in opening the eyes. No harm.
Hmm.
But if you are seeing some movement, then you should close the eyes.
Okay.
Because we don't want the eyes to go into a thought. Suppose you're sitting in a shop and you're looking at your customer. Customer comes. Customer asking questions. Hey, what customer ko dikha raha hai? Your eyes will see something, means it will disturb you. If you're sitting in the house and you're looking at the wall, there's no problem. You can keep your eyes open. No problem.
Okay, but when I go in that once I tried in my terrace, but I can see the complete buildings and
No.
clouds I can see.
No, then your mind
That
will
is
be
not right.
Your mind will be distracted.
Okay.
Not only
So
the
it's a good idea.
eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and skin. Suppose somebody said, I'm doing meditation, but I'm eating ice cream. Is it okay? Can you do meditation eating ice cream?
No.
No, because you're giving, that tongue is giving some thought to the mind. You can't give.
But we can practice our even in closed eyes also, no?
Closed is better. See, for example, music. Some people say I'm doing meditation hearing music. So idea is you should not be hearing music. But suppose you are hearing meditative music. Suppose you are hearing something very, very, very meditative. Helpful. So it depends. You have to find a way where the mind is quiet. That is the challenge.
Rajendra.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gautam. Rajendra Makwan. Thank you.
Shivam,
Shivam Rajan.
I want to ask here whether there are restrictions in what we eat and drink to be spiritually enlightened. I mean, importance of food, basically.
No, what the rishis and the saints have taught us is this, and I agree with them. Although, see, there is no, we can only go by what we hear and what our intellect has to agree. So they have, Rajendra, they have divided food and drink into 3 types. You must have heard. Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. You heard of the 3 terms, right?
Yes.
We don't like to hear technical terms. We want practical terms. So in practical terms, one food is pure food. For example, you have to have an apple. An apple is very nourishing. You have eaten an apple. Kaise lagta hai apple? It's very, but same thing, if you eat one Hyderabadi biryani with a lot of ghee in it, oil or ghee, whatever they put in it, then how do you feel? How do you feel after eating that biryani? Biryani khane ke baad pura the body hai,
Heavy.
the body becomes dull. Correct? So there is one food which is nourishing food. There is one food which makes you dull. And there is another food which is called Rajasic, which takes a passion in you. Now that is little difficult to understand. For example, chili. It makes you, it makes you like that. It makes you like, okay. Or for example, people say onion. Onion can create some excitement in the body. So they call some of these foods Rajasic. Same thing, if you have liquor, liquor can knock you out. If you have liquor, how can you be enlightened with liquor? Therefore, my whole subject of this is not religious, or my whole, I am not talking moral, religious, no. I am talking practical. So if you want, eat nourishing food. Don't eat toxic food. I am only dividing into two types.
Yeah, I
Nourishing
got
food,
it.
nourishing and toxic. कोई poisonous खाना है मत खाइए, because वो खाना हमें अच्छा लगता है खाना. We all like it, but it's not good.
Not good.
But there's a plane flying over me. कोई है, कोई fighter plane कहीं जा रहा है. Okay, so see, sometimes if such a plane comes into us, then this disturbs us. Correct? Same like food. This plane, Gautam was asking just now, can I be sitting in the open building and doing meditation? Plane आएगा तो disturb हो जाएगा, automatically disturb हो जाएगा. So Gautam, that's for you. So Rajendra, we should try to eat pure food. Try to eat simple food. Remember one thing, I'm just guiding you. You know, I'm a big foodie. मैं तो इतना खाना खाता हूँ, इतना खाना खाता हूँ. I have eaten all the kind of food. It is not only South Indian and North Indian, not only Chinese, Italian, Thai food, and French food, and Mexican food. And I am such a damn foodie that it's a big problem. There was a time when I used to think that I don't eat to live. It felt like I live to eat. Till I realized you don't live to eat. You have to eat to live.
Yes.
So one man was very fond of pizza. Pizza, very, very fond. So, so when this man was very fond of pizza, so we gave one pizza to him. He ate it. Then we gave second pizza to him. He said, no, I can't eat such a big pizza. I can't eat. आपने भी बोला आपका favorite है, आप खाओ. So he forcefully ate second pizza. As he finished forcefully eating second pizza, we brought a third pizza in front of him.
Oh my God.
He said, मर जाऊंगा मैं, I cannot eat it. So this is what. So we eat. Our eating habit is only to the point of satisfying that taste.
Yeah.
Then even if we like something, we don't. Thank you, Rajendra. Next.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashok Chotwani. Next question.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam Ashok.
Sir, I have written the question.
Written the question. I will read your question. Okay. How can we know where we are on the path of enlightenment, or how much we have progressed on the enlightenment path? Good question. When somebody asks me the question, how can we know we are enlightened? I give the example of the room in the light. The light in the room. If the light comes on in the room, then you know that you can see. And so it is when you see. So how can you know you are progressing? It's like this. When you stop behaving like the body. For example, you are gluttonous. We talked just now to Rajendra कि खाना भी every day we say देखो बिरयानी चाहिए, हाँ बिरयानी में ऐसा मिर्ची डालना है, हाँ तो बिरयानी के साथ अचार चाहिए, हाँ बिरयानी के साथ हमको अनियन भी चाहिए, हाँ प्याज चाहिए, हाँ. So we know that we are too much the body. So when we are too much the body, we are not progressing. When food doesn't matter so much, then the mind. Well, first of all, we should see how much we are the body. The more and more we go away from being the body, we are going on the path of enlightenment, realizing I am not the body. Second is the mind. If all the time we are living with fear, worry, stress, anxiety, that means the mind is commanding us. The moment the mind is commanding us, that means our enlightenment is being shadowed. The mind is putting a shadow on the enlightenment. We must
Sir,
not
intellect.
we must.
Our intellect should be powerful. Yeah.
Intellect
Our
should be.
Yeah.
Intellect should be powerful, correct? But the problem is this. The problem is the mind is all the time fighting with the intellect. The intellect is maybe powerful, but if you are going on the path of enlightenment, if you are moving forward on the path of enlightenment, then your intellect will be powerful. But if you are
Yes.
not, if you feel that you are not able to control the mind, that means you are struggling. You're struggling on the path of enlightenment. Therefore, it's very important for us. See, enlightenment. What is the new? What is the every Friday? What we are talking about, Ashok? We are talking about the spiritual jigsaw puzzle. What is this jigsaw puzzle we are talking about?
Realization.
I started with 9 realizations, but I have for the sake of people to realize, I have broken it up into 100 realizations. In the book, I'm writing 100. Why I'm writing 100? Small things. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the ego. I am the soul. Death is certain. Body will die. Everything happens as per karma. The soul doesn't suffer. The soul is liberated. The soul becomes united with God if we overcome karma. Now, these are all pieces of the puzzle. In fact, if you just pay attention to these pieces, and Ashok, you put these pieces in place, you will come to know which of these realizations you know about and which you don't know about. For example, people who are all the time wanting more money, more money, more money. What is the use, Ashok? That means that the people who are wanting this more and more money do not realize that they will leave it behind. So if they leave it behind, then where is the enlightenment? Okay, coming back to close your question. How to know how much I am moving in the path of enlightenment? What is enlightenment?
Yeah.
Enlightenment is for you to know, I am not Ashok Chotwani. Ashok Chotwani is my name. I am not this body. You look in the mirror and say, मैं ये नहीं हूँ. मैं जो अंदर हूँ, मैं वो प्राण हूँ, मैं वो power हूँ, मैं वो आत्मा हूँ. When you realize that, your whole attitude changes. If you paid attention to Navjot said yesterday, I have an experience. Now, if that experience is really a powerful experience, over the next few days, it will evolve. Otherwise, it's just a momentary, it's just a flash, it's just a feeling.
Yeah.
Is it easy to overcome anger, Ashok? Let me ask you a question. Have you overcome anger? Or you
No,
get angry?
it is difficult, but practice makes.
Yeah. You try to overcome. When you last got angry, how many days back you got angry or upset with somebody? Kabhi, when did last happen? Today, yesterday, day before yesterday? When you got
so many days I have not. So many days I have not angered.
So many days you not got angry.
Yeah.
For how many,
Rare,
days
very rare.
Huh?
Very rare, sir.
That is very good. That shows, that means that you are moving on the right path. But when you are able to give up anger completely, when you only use your temper, you don't lose your temper, then you are enlightened. Then you have to keep on. The enlightenment light comes like boom. It comes in one shot, boom, like that. Because once you realize, I told you yesterday, I was suffering from 1 month. Me means my body was suffering from 1 month with very high acidity, which I felt it's like a heart attack. But I kept on eating the food. Now it's like I knew it. I knew that food is acidic food. But fir bhi every day I'm eating. The moment I realized, the moment that enlightenment came, okay, I have an acidity attack in the body, I gave up everything. In one moment, I gave up everything.
Yes.
So you will yourself realize it. A time will come, Ashok. एक बार वो light आ जाएगा ना. So I already explained to you how you know you are progressing. When you are not a slave to your body, when you are not so much unhappy with your mind, when you are able to avoid anger, revenge, hate, misery, all these are the steps towards that final bomb of enlightenment.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Kiran Katuria. Next question. Kiran Katuria.
Shivam, Guruji.
Shivam.
Navjot and one of my friend was talking about silence. I have also want to know, in the morning when one of the balcony opens outside and only field, trees, birds flying in the air, I can see in the morning. I feel that it is a scene of Satyam Shivam Sundaram. I like seeing trees, birds flying from here and there. I am in silence. Do closing of eyes or opening of eyes matter in silence?
It actually doesn't matter. But provided what level of evolution you have reached.
Huh?
If you are looking at the skies and your mind is wandering, no. But if you're looking at the skies and in your heart you're saying Satyam Shivam Sundaram, then you must keep your eyes open, right? Because you're watching the sunrise, because you're watching the clouds, because you're watching beautiful birds. Then you need the eyes. Now, so this is a different case. Gautam also should note, since what Kiran is asking is relevant to Gautam. So it all depends. As long as our sense organs are used to be united with the divine, we should use them. But if the sense organs are going to distract us, then we should not. So we have to be careful what time and when. For example, you're in a temple and there's a God in front of you. You can keep your eyes open. The Murti in front of you, why should you keep your eyes closed? You can look at the Murti and meditate. But if you look at the Murti and you start thinking, my Krishna is so beautiful. My Krishna is better than neighbor's Krishna. Look at the neighbor's Krishna. It's not looking so nice. From where they bought that Krishna, I don't know. The flute is so funny. The Krishna's head is so funny. Now we kya ho gaya? Meditation ko kya hua? So we have to be careful. We are meditating. But what you just said, Kiran, when you get up in the morning and you're enjoying the beauty of nature as Satyam Shivam Sundaram, that is a very divine feeling. And every day I upload a status, a video, where it will normally capture some divine moments. I see God every time, all the time. So that is it's a beautiful feeling. When I look at all of you, I see God. So why should I close my eyes? So for example, love. Some people are confused. Should you love or you should not love, or you should love everybody? You should love everybody. You should love the whole world, because the whole world is nothing but God. So we have to evolve on this journey.
Thank you very much. Pranam
Thank you.
Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you, Shiva.
Komal, how should we pray?
Komal is asking the question, how should we pray? Very, very interesting question. So Komal, normally I'm going to touch what is prayer normally. Normally you teach children, young children, what do you teach them? Oh God, tomorrow is my exams. Oh God, I should do well in my exams. Have you not started? When you were a kid, you didn't pray to God for your exams? Or you prayed? Giving you good marks, huh, Komal? You must have prayed, no? So we are taught to pray to God to give us. Prabhu, I have brought 4 coconuts for you. You know why? Because I have filed a tender and tomorrow they are going to open the tender. I brought 4 coconuts, not 1 coconut. I brought 4 coconuts to break in the temple because tomorrow they are going to open the tenders and there are 4 tenders. I want to win the 4th, so I brought 4 coconuts. ये क्या मजाक है? Is it some kind of joke? Are we playing some game with God? So I always teach you, or rather I guide you, prayer is communication with God. Prayer is not only talking to God. Prayer is listening to God. Prayer is the ability to be silent. Today you have a problem. God can solve your problem in a moment. If you are silent, if only you listen to his voice. But the problem is we pray with a lot of noise. How do we pray? Ding, 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 oh, jai, jaga, ding, 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 doom, dish, boom, boom, dish. Our prayer only is like that, no? जितना हरिद्वार में ज्यादा घंटी बजेगी, God, we want to call God ना, but प्रभु ऊपर बैठा है, भगवान आसमान में बैठा है. So that's why so many घंटियां, घंटी बजाओ, ताली बजाओ, ये बजाओ, वो बजाओ. What is this? Because we don't understand the meaning of prayer. Prayer The answer to the question, please stop meaningless prayer. First, if you want to pray, stop all meaningless prayer. And don't be scared. Some people are scared. How can I stop prayer? Huh? How can I stop? I've been doing this prayer from 25 years. Yeah, but your prayer has no meaning. What is the use of you doing prayer for 25 years which has no meaning? So stop and try to spend time talking to God. Try to thank God. In the morning when you wake up, God, thank you for a good night's sleep. God, thank you for waking me up in the morning with that energy. Thank you for blessing me with so many things. Count your blessings. You don't keep on cribbing in your prayer. Oh God, God, see God. What? I don't have God. Look at the neighbor. What God? What have I done? Most of our prayer is, Prabhu, मैंने क्या किया प्रभु? Oh, मेरे प्रभु, you're whining to God. Oh, Prabhu, Prabhu, Prabhu. What is this? God wants to listen to your complaints. Is God happy all the time? You're going on complaining. Oh God, why you didn't do like this? Oh God, what have I done? Oh God, why this? This is the problem. Our entire prayers are wrong. Our prayers to bow down, preferably in silence, gratitude, thanking God, surrendering to God, telling God, let thy will be done. तुम ही सब कुछ प्रीतम, तेरी इच्छा पूर्ण हो. दुख में सुख में मेरे प्रीतम, तेरी इच्छा पूर्ण हो. My guru used to always say this. My guru used to always say this to God, तेरी इच्छा पूर्ण हो, दुख में, O Lord, in happiness, in unhappiness, let thy will be done. This is the right way to pray, the way to surrender, the way to accept. That is the way, that is real prayer. Yes, I have another question.
Yeah.
Dr. Kulveer Singh, should he has sent the question in writing?
Yeah.
So we have a question from Dr. Kulveer Singh. It's in writing here. Religious places have long been bargain counter with God. Seems so much money for temples, gurudwaras. No, there's no justification. I think it is very sad. The moment you connect money with God, it's defeated. So therefore, but what do you do? How do you learn? How do you learn the ABC? You learn the ABC. We have a temple. But in the temple, it is a must that they will collect money. They will collect money for doing puja because they have to spend money for puja. I strictly tell them, I say, don't demand money from anybody. Because people are coming to pray. You don't have to collect money from them. Let those who can afford to pay, let them pay on their own happiness, their own willingness. You don't demand. When I went to Kulveer Singh, when I went to Banaras, Kashi Vishwanath Mandir, I went to Kashi Vishwanath Mandir. When man said, "Oh, हम आपको पूजा करेंगे, अभी हम आपको अच्छा पूजा करेंगे, 500 रुपए निकालो." 500 रुपए, हाँ 500 रुपए निकाल लिया. अभी बताओ तुम्हारा गोत्र क्या है, तुम्हारा बाप का नाम क्या है, तुम्हारा माम का नाम क्या है, अभी तुम्हारा कर्म का हम छुटकारा करेंगे, 1000 रुपए निकालो. What is this? What is this? This is some kind of joke. What kind of enlightenment? What kind of God? So in spirituality, God and money don't connect. In spirituality itself, money doesn't play a role. I always told you, if you are looking for true spirituality, and if there's a ticket, suppose they have to go to listen to a spiritual speaker and they say 5,000 rupees ticket, don't go. Don't go. Because it is worthless. If anybody tells you I'm charging a ticket for you to give you enlightenment, don't go. Because enlightenment doesn't have a price tag. To me, if the religious place tells you that if you want to enter, you have to pay money, don't go. You must be able to pray, and especially for those of you who are on this call, When you realize God lives in the temple of your heart, you don't need to go to a puja place. Yes, you still want to go to Gurdwara, you still want to go to temple, you still want to go to church. You go. But if you go to church, first thing you know what they'll tell you in a church? Those, I don't know how many of you are Christians. They say 10% you have to pay tithe. Means 10% uh, of your income, your salary, has to be given as a tithe. Tithe means fixed. They tell in the pastor, the priest will tell, you pay your electricity charge, you pay your rent. Where is God's fee? Where are you paying God for the life? So the church collects 10% of your salary or your income. Those who are enlightened, they don't agree to this. Those who are enlightened believe, why will God want 10% of my salary? But are you willing to reach that level of enlightenment? Are you willing to go that path? It's not an easy path. But the truth is that, Dr. Kulveer Singh, what you said, I am completely against these religious institutions, because these religious institutions are a bottleneck to enlightenment. They stop you from enlightenment because they are filling your mind with junk. They are telling you God lives in heaven. God doesn't live in heaven. God lives inside. Go inside. To go inside, how much it costs, Dr. Kulveer Singh? How much it costs to go inside? Nothing. Free. Go inside. Go inside. One more question.
Tanu Chopra.
Yes, Tanu Chopra, you're asking, or should I read out your question, Tanu? If you're not asking, I will read out your question. Some of you are typing your question. You are allowed to type questions, but we give first priority to those who ask, and then we give priority to the people who are typing questions. But Tanu has typed a question. Everything's free will or destined. Everything is not destined. Everything is not free will. Please understand what is free will and what is destined. What is destined is happening today. What is happening in your life today, whether it's a heart attack, whether it's a lottery, whether it's a gift, or it's a curse, or it's a bonus, it is not luck. This destiny is based on your past karma. So that is your past karma which is unfolding today. There is no doubt about this, Tanu. Please be 100% clear, Tanu Chopra, that this is 100%, that what is happening in your life today, just like the fruit growing in the tree in your garden, depends on the seed you planted before. Then, do you have a free will? Your next question. Do you have a free will? Yes, of course. You are listening to me. You have a free will. If you want to shut off the Zoom, you can shut off, or you can't shut off. Of course, you can shut off. Tomorrow, you have a free will. You can get up in the morning. You can do this. You can do that. You can do good. You can do bad. You have a choice. Those actions that you take tomorrow will become the destiny of the future. Be very clear. This is a very simple principle of karma. What is happening today in our life is a result of the deed we planted in the past. What we are doing today will determine the destiny in the future. If you understand this simple thing, you will be able to reach that state of enlightenment. Ashok Chotwani, again, note this point, that you have to see. If you understand the law of karma, you are 50% on the journey. Karma itself is a very important law. The law of karma, it is so important that if you just understand the law of karma, you will be able to move a long way. So I think we have reached the end of the questions.
Thank you, Guru.
Thank you. As well as we have reached the end of time. Some people think time is ticking. Actually, time is not ticking. Time is still. We are moving. Time is just measuring. Time is measuring our life. Time is not moving. Don't think, time is going so fast. Time is not going fast. Life is going fast. Every day, one day, one asker is gone. Did you ask a question? No, I wanted to ask, but what but? There is no but. If you must remove all the bibs, they say bibs are for babies. But if because someday remove these bibs. If you have a question, you ask, because only when you ask, you can investigate and you can realize the truth. I thank you all for attending. I thank you all for asking questions. I bow down to you and look forward to your presence. Thank you.